think there's a lot of misconceptions about athletes just because everyone has this notion that we're tough, we're trained, we're disciplined. But I think that can cause people to forget that we struggle with the same mental battles that they do. For me, track, training, and competitions, it kind of gave me a sense of purpose. But when that was taken away from me, that's when I hit rock bottom. So I was born in Tacoma, Washington.
Jaleen, look at mommy. Wave to mommy.
And when I started walking, my mom noticed that my foot was a little inverted and I walked kind of on my tippy toe. I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, which impairs my muscle coordination and strength. Growing up in elementary school, I was bullied a little bit and I developed really intense anxiety. But then once I started running track in the 4th grade, my anxiety kind of melted away when I was in that zone. As I got older, I was doing really well. Then right after high school, I moved away from home and started Paralympic track and field.
Let's go, Jay, let's go!
Hey, drive!
Yeah, let's go, let's go.
We were training 5 times a week, immersed with other Paralympic athletes. And then you're also going back and forth with some of the best athletes in the world.
Quick 100 meters. She's out to a good run right here. Gold for Jaleen Roberts for the United States of America.
Yeah, it brought me an overwhelming sense of belonging that I didn't really know that I was missing. So March 2020, I'm doing well. The Tokyo Paralympic Games is this thing that I had been training for 4 years, and they were such a build-up.
With the coronavirus spreading at a rapid pace,
The International Olympic Committee postponing the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo.
But when we got the news that the Paralympic Games was going to be postponed, all I had really was just isolation. Track and training and competitions, it kind of gave me a sense of purpose, and it just felt like it was ripped right from underneath me. I started to fall into a really, really deep depression. I would sleep a lot more than normal. Even just coming out of my room became very difficult. But then I would have these highs where I wouldn't sleep, and I would make really, sometimes irrational split-second decisions. But then it would go back to these extremely low lows. At that point, I wasn't really working out. I wasn't taking care of myself because I was kind of just like, what's the point? I began to have some suicidal ideations. And I started to realize that it was becoming pretty serious when I started kind of writing notes or thinking about how I would do things. I didn't want to die, but it got to a point where I was scared to be alone. So I remember I called my mom and I was crying and I told her what thoughts I was having, and I ultimately made a decision to admit myself into a psychiatric hospital. I ended up being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it made everything make a little bit more sense. I needed professional, intensive help to deal with what I was dealing with. I was placed on the right medications and they set me up for therapy and outside psychiatrists. I took some time off and it took a while to figure out what was working for me. You know, there were highs and lows and ups and downs. But then starting training again, that really helped me regain my purpose for Tokyo. So arriving in Tokyo was really exciting, but it was also scary because leading up, I was kind of in this back and forth, good to bad mental state, and so I wasn't really sure how ready I was.
Jaleen Roberts of the USA, 22 years of age.
But then once I stepped in the stadium, I felt ready.
Well, we're back to the track and the women's 100 meters final.
When Xiaoyan gets out quickly, Jaleen Roberts has some work to do.
Crossing that finish line in the final, I think I shocked myself and I think I shocked a lot of people.
Jaleen Roberts wins her second silver medal of these games.
A huge season's best for her. That's all you can ask for at these moments.
It was exciting to be one of the best and to compete with the best. I think that everything that I went through on my mental health journey, looking back, I'm super grateful because I think it made me stronger.
Good, Jay.
I think that telling my story, I really want to end the mental health stigma, especially within the athletic community. For me, I felt like I had to put on this brave face and this tough facade instead of reaching out and speaking up when I needed help. It was something that I needed to work through to make what's happening in between my 2 ears my friend and not my enemy.